Do you know how Eastern European countries kinda did their own dance when it came to those strict COVID restrictions and lockdowns? Well, let's rewind the tape a bit and go back in time to the Soviet Union days. Back then, governments had a habit of saying one thing and doing another, and people got real good at reading between the lines. It's like they had a sixth sense for government bull. Parents and grandparents would sit down the little ones and whisper, "Look, kiddos, don't take everything those guys in suits say as gospel truth. Trust your gut and question stuff. They ain't gonna melt like a Swiss chocolate bar left outdoors during a hot summer day." Now, fast forward to today, you have Eastern European citizens who have inherited a healthy dose of skepticism. When the pandemic hit and governments started throwing around rules left and right, some folks raised an eyebrow or two. Lockdowns, social distancing, they thought? Hold on a sec. Is this really about the virus or something else? See, in these parts, there's this ingrained sense of independence. It's like telling an Eastern European to stay put is akin to asking a squirrel to stop hoarding nuts. It just ain't in their nature. They're used to rolling up their sleeves and figuring stuff out on their own. It's an admirable quality to have. So when the government comes along and tries to play big boss, a lot of folks start thinking, hey, I've seen this movie before. Plus, there's this whole historical memory thing going on. People still remember the day when the government had a finger in every pie. And it wasn't exactly cherry pie. Trust got broken, rebuilt, and broken again. So now when the government says, jump, some Eastern Europeans might just look the other way and keep sipping their coffee. And let's not forget the power of community. Eastern European societies are tight-knit, like that sweater your grandma knitted. It's hard to unravel. People often rely on their friends and neighbors more than they do on the suits up top. So when someone from the government tells them what to do, they might think, who are you to tell me? My Aunt Jessica knows better. Now, don't get me wrong, Eastern Europeans are not all rebels without a cause. They care about their health and safety just as much as anybody does. But they've got a unique cocktail of history, skepticism, and self-reliance swirling around their DNA. So when you wonder why they didn't dive head first into the strict COVID lockdowns, just remember, it's a mix of I'll do it my way and I've heard this song before. Oh, you're venturing into the land of central bank digital currencies now. A very, very hot topic that we have discussed on multiple occasions on this very channel. Well, let me break it down for you in a way that's as clear as day. Eastern Europeans, they've got this healthy dose of skepticism brewed in right into their morning coffee. So when you start talking about these fancy central bank digital currencies controlled by the big shots, you might as well be serving them a plate of cold borscht. You see, these folks have a history of governments playing tricks, pulling strings, and making promises they didn't keep. You remember the days when they had to count their toilet paper squares and stand in line for hours just to get a loaf of bread? Right, that kind of stuff leaves a mark. So when somebody in a suit tells them, hey, we're gonna give you this newfangled digital money, they're likely to squint their eyes and say, hey, hold on, what's the catch? It's like inviting a vampire into their house and they're not gonna do it unless they are 100% sure that the garlic and crosses are working. Eastern Europeans, they value their privacy and freedom, and the idea of a central bank digital currency launched by the central bank just doesn't sound right to them. Well, that sounds about as appealing as a snowstorm in June. Plus, these folks have a knack for finding alternatives. You remember that time Uncle Vladimir fixed his old car with a rubber band and a shoelace? That's the spirit. They're used to finding their own solutions, working around the system, and keeping their hard-earned money away from prying eyes. Now, don't get me wrong, they are not living in the Stone Age either. They use smartphones and the internet like everyone else does. But when it comes to money, they want something tangible that they can hold in their hands, stash under their mattress, or bury in a jar in the backyard. So when you start preaching about central bank digital currencies and how convenient they'll be, just know that Eastern Europeans might raise an eyebrow or two and ask, what for? And convenient for whom? They're not gonna dive into this digital currency pool without checking the water temperature first. They'll want answers, assurances, and also a little bit of garlic just in case. If you want to thrive throughout the 21st century and avoid government nonsense, click on the link below the video and sign up to our mailing list now. Thank you for watching.